Live rise. And I was thinking this morning after I was meditating, it was pretty funny and deep at the same time. Spiritual gumbo, right? Spiritual gumbo. What's a gumbo? Gumbo got all types of stuff in it, right? All that good shit. Got everything in it, right? Okra, tomatoes, corn, potatoes. You know what I'm saying? Seafood, chicken sometimes, everything. I ain't no pork lover, so you know what I'm saying? You put those turkey wings in there, all that. Beef sausage, all that. So, like all that good stuff in the gumbo, right? Just everything in there. And you go through your life, right? And most people are so particular about every little thing that happened to them. Like it sticks to you like a mud ball. Like something happened, poof, it's all over your clothes. You wear that same spot for the rest of your life. Like, remember when you hit me right there? It should be crazy just like that. You know, condemning yourself is deep. You know what I mean? And it can happen in a numerous amount of ways that you're not even aware of. You know what I'm saying? So every situation has a positive and a negative. It's it's there to make you laugh at the negative. You know what I'm saying? It's there to make you get a lighter understanding of a situation. And hopefully that brings you to a balance, right? This is in every situation in your life. There's always going to be a good part of it. It might not be the good you want out of it, but it's still a good part of it. Case in point, guy kidnaps a kid, he gets away, right? The kid is terrified, trapped in a car, gets taken to land somewhere. Subsequently, the guy gets drunk, something happens, he burns up something, the kid can escape, right? Now, ultimately, the kid gonna grow up with a trauma, saying that, I was abducted, I went through this, I went through that. But the point of that is, dude ended up killing himself and you got away. You know what I'm saying? People in this world repeat the trauma aspect. I've heard people say just for a namesake that they had something heinous happen to them just to get some level of attention. And that's because negativity permeates the world. It's like everybody wants to gravitate to a form of negativity. Well, that's easy. You know what I'm saying? That's real easy. And for the most part, sometimes I'm a little rough around the edges when it comes to listening to that shit because I expect people to be in a different mindset, thus their own circumstance. I expect certain people to be mindful of their actions. I expect certain age groups to act like adults, but this ain't the reality we live in. I kind of shoot myself in the foot like that sometimes. Just, well, right from wrong. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, why are you sitting there doing this shit is stupid. You got a whole list in your life. Why is you doing that? Most of my so-called friends or close people to me will tell you that I don't be with that bullshit. I'm gonna tell you straight up, like, nope, don't bring that shit around me. Especially if we involved in the same circle of people. That negative energy permeates through different levels. I look for both values of everything. Spiritual gumbo. I look for every little piece of everything. I see the negative is it's intentional, right? So then now I'm searching for the positive in it. I see the positive, right? Well, I'm looking for the okie doke. It's spiritual gumbo. Master discernment. How deep are you willing to learn any circumstance that you're dealing with before you fully engage yourself into it? Because self-preservation is the first rule, right? So how you gonna preserve self? And if self came has how the Most High sent it, wouldn't that be the most important rule? To preserve how divine sent you? Like it's easy for me in the most part because I had a different mentality as a young person. So with that mentality I had as a kid, when I started learning spirituality, it was like it was connecting this world with that understanding. It allowed me to connect the understandings together. And it didn't make it something that I had to step out of myself to do. No, I'm going to talk to you like I'm talking to you. But when I talk to you, it's going to be powerful because it's me that you're hearing with the guidance of the divine. And that's representation. See me tell you that I'm a creation of the divine while I'm representing this walk. And it's so powerful to where the government itself, the planet you live on right now, still uphold land laws. That's the laws the people above the government's government, gotta follow. But they don't really do it to that capability because a lot of people don't remember, they don't know. Divine was set in motion, literal, physical, and spiritual since the beginning of time. Who am I to change any of that? Who am I to even come in and tell people what's the indifferent? We already have that plenty around the world. A lot of times people used to be like, yo, why you don't just go study this and study that? I was like, well, if you truly got faith, you allow the divine to speak for you. Divine says, come back to me or come within self and you will speak scripture. In so many words. Being still. And this is what I've learned over the years of my life. I watched my grandfather, right, read the same scripture every day. Play the same gospel song every other day. Be in the same energy every day. And I used to go with him to church a little bit when I was little, but then he just stopped going because him not being able to control the energy that came with that. And knowledge started coming to us as younger people that you didn't need to participate in disturbing energies to where you had to focus on yourself as the temple. So if you was going to pray within self, how would your temple be? The God-given temple that's given to you. See, the world we live in, they didn't teach us to appreciate the life that we was given. They told you was of service for everybody else. Well, you can't do that until you understand what you are. And that's paying homage first to understanding. Once I understand what I am, then I can get to work. You know what I'm saying? It's like you ain't never seen a paintbrush or construction brick or nothing, but they just drop you on the construction site and said, work. You're like, what? Yo, so, first communication was telepathy. We vibe with everybody. We felt everything in the mind. And divine still talks to us that way. It's not words. It's not no concept of dictionary purposes and stuff of that nature. Like, people make up these astronomical, these weird ways of thinking about how divine is contacted with everybody. And unbeknownst to normal mindsets, who's relaying this way of being? Divine don't change what he sets in motion. Why would he change that to benefit you? Just think about it for a minute. Like, divine set it in motion, plant the seeds and all that, and then watch life grow. And then you start, things start happening. Maybe other germs or other entities come around and things take place. Now you're learning different things that has nothing to do with divine principle. By your own will, you can learn whatever you want. But when you lose your tongue and you start speaking as others, you put other authority in front of you. You eat foods from other individuals. You see what I'm saying? You start doing all these things that are not given to you by the divine. Is the conversation still the same at that point? You got to ask yourself this. It gets real deep, you know what I'm saying? And this is my point for even wanting to go deeper into spirituality and try to find back from where the root it came from and understand the true purpose of it. And once you go there and you see where it comes from, and you see the identical placements and how it was rechanged and rewritten, and why different placements was added to these circumstances, you see it's based off control. But I said this in my other bill. Divine said, a fool will speak my truth. Naga.